All right, guys, we're here with Steve from TLC. Steve, can you tell us, what does TLC do?
So what we do is we take the administrative tasks off the contractor's desk and allow them to focus on growing and managing their business.
Okay, so that's big. Like that's
Yeah,
huge for a
that's
contractor not to have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's pretty all-encompassing. To be more specific, we offer a lot of services such as HR support, payroll processing, safety programs, workers' comp coverage, and employee benefits. So it's really a wide array of products and services that we can be a one-stop shop for them, and they turn to us for any of those questions. So again, they can focus on things like looking into purchasing new routes, concentrating on their lease agreements with their equipment, things that are more important in generating revenue and growing that company as opposed to paper shuffling in the back office.
That's big.
No, we're not doing this again today. No way. Oh man. Hello, Steve. My name is Rick. I'm also here too, although you wouldn't know it sometimes. Payroll processing. Can we talk about specifics and how that looks like for a contractor? I'm using TLC for my services. I want to do my payroll. What do I have to do as the AO of the business to process my payroll while using your services?
Yeah, great question. And there's really a couple of different ways a contractor can process the payroll with us. We do have an online portal that's very easy to use. A lot of contractors like using that because they can be anywhere at any time and be able to punch in their payroll and get it into us to process. Or if they're using a management platform in the FedEx space, like a Haldy Tech, for example, they can import that data into our payroll platform, which can be very convenient.
Okay, so that's unique. Everyone we've spoken to, it seems like that's what the market's getting towards, some automation, but that you actually have that automation. So whether it is they're entering it themselves or using Haldy Tech, Ground Force, which one of those systems to analyze their settlement statement, they can send you the report and you're actually going to process the payroll for them. They're not going to go through QuickBooks or ADP, any of the other companies.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think what's even more valuable to the contractors is what comes out the back end, right? So once the payroll is processed, they will have the data in any format that they need, so that when FedEx comes in to do the payroll audit, for example, they need to see the payroll in a certain manner. We understand what Ground is going to be looking for, so we can provide that reporting to the contractor so they can just give it to them, here it is, and everything will be in order. That's really critical for contractors that have multiple entities, by the way. So now you have it sliced and diced with 2, 3, maybe more different FEINs. That can be very time consuming to double check, make sure you have everything in order. We do all that for our contractors.
Or assume if you have one driver who's driving under a different entity, a V number that day, but you're paying him under a different one, which always happens when you have multiple. You're not going to switch payroll between two separate companies, I guarantee it. And the driver's going to get really irritated if he gets multiple W-2s. So that's certainly a way where you would have that processing in the format they want. But with that, so I know you offer workers' comp as well.
We do.
Yeah. Okay, so in that case, if you're doing my payroll, are you doing my workers' comp directly off of the payroll, which you have access to? Is that automated?
It is. And what contractors like about it is, first of all, there's no down payment or deposit up front. It's just pay as you go week to week. And to your point, it's based on that actual payroll every week. So there's no audit at the end of the year, which is always a big surprise. if you've been down that path before, you know that audit comes. It seems 9 times out of 10 you end up owing money, so you're writing out yet another check that you didn't plan for.
That's something that's huge, and I don't think I've ever talked about it before, but that is an absolutely huge issue for a contractor.
That's a good point. Steve, at the top, you mentioned that you also deal with kind of taking on HR. As a new contractor, I'm thinking of not only how to onboard, but also how I need to retain drivers and kind of deal with any issues that come up. Can you talk a little bit about what TLC does on that side?
Yeah, so for any contractor, but especially for relatively new contractors, they realize quickly that in addition to being an investor and a business owner, they're also an employer. And that brings a whole nother set of challenges. There's a myriad of various state, federal, and even local laws, and that's becoming more and more common. That it's almost impossible for them to keep track of. So if they ever run into an HR issue, they can turn to us, and even really beyond HR, if it's a tax-related issue, because the number of taxes is increasing across the country. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. But for example, we recently had a situation where a contractor was looking to purchase routes in Oregon. And they called us and said, hey, whenever we don't know who else to call, we call TLC because we know you guys are going to know, right? So they called and said, what do we need to know about Oregon? So there's several things that are pertinent, and we went through that. But one thing that they weren't aware of is in the Portland area, they have a homeless tax of 1% on all payroll.
Wow.
So those are the kinds of things that when you're looking to buy routes in an area you're not familiar with, you need to know what the state unemployment tax is in that state and how that works. Are there any local tax or laws that you need to be aware of in a metro area? And the list goes on and on. So we're a resource for the contractors whenever they run into those scenarios.
Yep, agreed. State and even local city municipality rules and laws will certainly play a huge role in, for us, it's markets we even decide to get into. Yeah, like those, they just posted some Tracy, California unassigned runs, which everybody wants to grow, but we've never had a positive experience interacting with the state of California in the years that we've been doing business. So it's like, even if we have some trucks and we'd like to run out of there, I won't touch California respectfully. And I understand people that do and be very successful. We're just not prepared as a company to take on that additional administrative dealing with the state and all the extra paperwork and things you have to be on top of with their random laws. So when you're looking at those unassigned runs or growing into another place, obviously, being able to have somebody who's an expert on the different states and can say, maybe you don't want to go into this state because of this and how it relates to your current business model. Phenomenal. What about the truck insurance? Are you offering, the NTL insurance as well?
No, we're strictly on the PNC insurance side. We're strictly workers' comp.
Okay.
But what we will do is a contractor will come to us again, just because when they don't know where to go, they turn to us, and they'll say, "Hey, you're doing a great job for us," and they'll ask that question: Can you take on some of these other insurance policies, EPLI, etc.? We don't, but we partner with outstanding insurance agencies that specialize in the FedEx Linehaul space.
Okay.
We're the best kept secret in the space, and it's not intentional. Believe me, that's our failing.
Yep.
But we're working. It's tough because we're a very unique company, a very unique service, right?
So true. Yes.
So it's not just work comp. It's not just payroll. It's all of these services intertwined, which makes it challenging to get that across to contractors. The other thing that's really popular with contractors, especially new ones, is the whole employee benefits platform. because now you have to go to yet another source and try to shop that and cobble together your health insurance, 401k is probably yet a different provider. And that's all within our house. So when you're a new contractor and you have your ads out there, you're going to want to have in your ad that we have health insurance available, 401k, life, dental. Even if none of the drivers end up taking any of that, that's what they want to see when they're looking at ads. And you're kind of cursed in a way that you're tied to FedEx grounds, right? So when a driver sees an ad for FedEx, they're expecting to have, Fortune 500 type of benefits available to them.
So true.
Steve, on your website, I saw it was mentioned that you also do offer safety and risk mitigation. Is that correct? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's correct. And as you probably know, FedEx Ground requires that you have one of their approved safety programs, right? And so we have the Infinity program from Vertical Alliance that is included in our offering for no additional fee.
Okay. So as opposed to, for instance, we've used Safety Forward, like them a lot. I like them a lot because I think they were the first ones where the driver could use an app on their phone, as opposed to having to log into a website. And in the early days, that's, was critical for us. But they'll let us create, and I promise I'm not pumping them, but getting somewhere. We can create our own videos and have the drivers take the training. Does Infinity have that option for us to create our own content?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I don't have the answer for you on that, but I can find out.
And we'll follow up with that. But I mean, free is great, right? That's certainly avoid the extra costs. You got me. But with that, I think when I separate the different safety offerings, it's, can I create my own content? Can I incorporate my company's culture, my personality into my safety training as well? And when a driver messes up, can I make a video for them, show them how they're messing up and say, hey, dude, come on, bro, like get your head in the game, or reward them. Hey, great decision you made, man. You avoided an accident. Here's your, I'm going to double your safety bonus just because I'm so impressed with, how you're driving. So just, it's a thought. And we'll follow up with you, I think, before this goes, and we'll have that information updated in there.
Yeah, no, and that's great that you do that within your company. I think it is very valuable to personalize the videos like that. And so I would just add this. I can check on if that's available through Vertical Alliance. However, you can use our platform, our HR Connect platform, which is where our payroll system resides, safety, your driver files, everything resides there. So you can certainly upload videos, documents, anything you want, and use that as the portal that the drivers would have access to.
Awesome. Okay, then very interested. Check that out.
We're back to safety real quickly. So
Yes, sir.
we do have that Vertical Alliance program, Infinity, included. That's not to say you have to use it. To your point, if you're using one of the other ground approved programs, by all means, continue to use it if you love it. But beyond that, we also have safety people out in the field. So if you want us to stop by, maybe run one of your safety meetings for you.
Oh, wow.
Or just maybe walk through a training session on safely entering and exiting the cab, things like that. Maybe work on formalizing a return to work program. All of those services are provided at no additional fee. We're there to help.
Okay, certainly. I'm going to talk to you a lot more about that as it relates to my specific business. That's extremely impressive. I would love to know more. And I think a lot of people who see this are certainly going to want to know more. How would you like people to contact you?
So they can contact me either by phone or email, either way. My direct line is 920-882-6754. Or you can email me at sthorn, that's no E at the end, STHORN, at tlccompanies.com.
Awesome. I think I'm gonna, just before we get to the end, ask maybe one of the most important questions, which is, Christian, will you kind of explain to us what's in that blue liquor bottle behind your shoulder, and what in the world you were getting into?
It's probably just what do you call the drink you make, the Kool-Aid? It's
Oh
just
yeah,
juice. Yeah.
adult juice. I like it. Let us know when the party is. It's like
Yeah,
college.
of course.
Steve, right? That's what we were drinking in a bathtub.
You guys are always welcome.
I've not seen a bottle of MD 2020 in about 30 years.
I don't know how this even got here.
Yeah. Awesome. Steven, thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
I'm annoyed that it's taken kind of me this long to reach out to you, because I'm extremely interested in what you are able to provide for my business selfishly, but also all the contractors that we have coming on board. I think are absolutely going to benefit from a relationship with your business, TLC.
And I look forward to serving the contractors in the future.
Wonderful. Have a good one. Thanks.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.